All right, this is the last case we have for today. It is a small claims matter. It's entitled James M. Jackson versus Josh Zinsmaster. You're James Jackson?
Yes, sir.
And you're Josh Zinsmaster?
Yes, sir.
Will you both please raise your right hand? You both swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give here will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. It's been kind of hectic around here. You saw some other cases, some landlord-tenant cases, some cases that kind of went off the rails. This is a small claims case. Small claims is a separate division of the district court where the rules are different. One man filed a small claims action and the other party filed an attorney and removed it. In small claims court, you can sue for up to $6,500. Neither party is allowed to have an attorney. There's no formal record being made of a small claims proceeding, and we don't strictly follow the rules of evidence or procedure. I will allow hearsay, and foundation is not required for documents if I believe they're credible. Any decision made in small claims court is final. Once we begin here, once I make a ruling, there's no appeal. Mr. Jackson, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Zinsmaster, you understand?
Yes, sir.
You both agree to proceed?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, both parties were sworn, so let's talk about this. This is a claim by Mr. Jackson for $421.87 plus court costs. He alleges that his dog suffered an injury by Mr. Zinsmaster's dog. Defendant refuses to pay for costs related to an initial attack by his dog to mine on 7/1/22 that required a vet visit on 7/6, and that's where the bill came from. 421.87 Texas Corners Animal Hospital. Mr. Zinsmaster filed an answer. He says, I do not believe I owe the plaintiff anything. I do not believe it was my dog that is being accused of the bite. I have pictures of another dog on the loose. I believe the plaintiff owes me mine, $1,450 as a counterclaim because there is no proof that it was my dog that bit Mr. Jackson's dog. Animal control even said there was no proof it was a dog or coyote, just that the dog had been bitten. So, Mr. Jackson, let's assume as legit your dog got bit and you went to Texas Corners Vet for some service, which is $421.87. What makes you believe that it was Mr. Zinsmaster's dog that bit your dog?
And July 1st, I broke the fight up.
You saw it happen.
Yes, sir.
Now,
I
I've
was in
seen
the
some pictures. Describe your dog for me.
black and white,
Black and white what?
rat terrier mix, about 1.5 feet tall, 26 pounds.
What's the dog's name?
Skippers.
And what's Mr. Zinsmaster's dog?
It's tan and brown, furry, husky dog. We've had
It's a German Shepherd, sir.
All right, well, I'll give you a chance to speak. So tell me about the context of this fight on July 1st. What time, where did you see it?
mid-morning. I was outside with my dog. He's tied up, and the gentleman's dog walked around the corner of my garage and it was on. So I ran over as fast as I could and broke it up. The dog looked at me and ran back over to the house.
Sorry, yes?
And when I
Just a
made
minute.
sure my dog was within reason, I went over and said that you need your batteries changed because we talked about this before.
Did he have a shock collar for the dog?
That you're going to have to ask him.
Or an electric dog fence?
Right.
All right, so you went right over to him right after his dog bit your dog.
Right. And I talked to his wife and let him know. And then I went and proceeded to take my dog to Texas Corners.
Tell me about your dog's injuries.
Had bites across the neck, the shoulder, and then it ended up with an infection, and they had to put a decatheter in to drain his side. And that's what the last part of the bill is.
Well, the original claim is for $421, but then you've
Right.
got an additional bill of $1,450. So are you
But-
actually suing for $1,871 or just the
The
$421.87?
the gentleman took care of the first half.
All right, he paid the first half? All right.
Yes, sir.
So just $421.87 is what you claim is due.
Right. Right. That was
Right, how much did he pay you?
$1,450. 4 cents.
All right. So the first claim is $421.87. The second bill is $1,450.
No.
All right, Mr. Zinsmaster, you're counterclaiming for that entire amount, alleging that it may or may not be your dog. He seems to have pretty good evidence that he saw your dog bite his dog and went over and talked to you about it. What would you like me to know?
Well, sir, I wasn't home at the time it happened. I was at work. Came home. My wife explained to me what had happened. Jim came over, told me again what had happened. At the time, I really, I felt extremely bad. I didn't know whether it was or was not my dog. The dog, the last time Jim had came over and we talked in my side yard, we had talked about, the dog fence and the collar. We had brand new batteries put in. I told him I had to fix the fence because it had gotten broken up. The fence had gotten disconnected. So I had all that fixed, and this was all before. So there's no way my dog could have crossed. He does not cross with the collar on and the batteries are fresh. It zaps him and he jumps and takes off running back to the garage. The animal control officer, when he got here and talked to my wife, said that he was told that there was no witness. So my wife, out of good faith, went ahead and took money out of our savings and went over and paid Jim the $1,450. But in the meantime, I've never seen my dog cross, and we did have that discussion. He is right. And I took care of it. So I even tested the collar myself. I grabbed the collar and I walked over and I crossed the line and it zapped me. So I know it's working. And I just know that he doesn't cross it. I've seen him jump and run, and he won't even go anywhere near that side once he's been shocked there.
All right. Well, you have circumstantial evidence that your dog wouldn't do it. He says he saw it happen. Now, Mr. Jackson, he contends that you saw animal control and you told him that nobody saw it.
No, sir. No, sir. I told him the circus, just like I've told you. I broke it up. When animal control came here, I told them the same thing.
Remember the officer's name?
Hackenberg.
Yes, Landon Hackenberg. He's no longer there.
Oh,
Oh, that. Okay.
did the judge get the case number?
You want a case number?
No,
Okay.
I would have just called him. I think he's on a leave or something, but he's not there presently.
Okay.
All right, this is a small claims action, and the proof for the plaintiff is by a preponderance. So he has to prove just more than the other side. Mr. Jackson says under oath that he was there and he saw this happen. He says that's what he told the animal control officer. His dog was penned up in its own yard. And the neighbor's dog, who he knows, came over and bit it in his presence. To their credit, the Zinsmasters paid a large portion of this without much question. And they felt bad about it. Mr. Zinsmaster has circumstantial evidence. He didn't see the incident happen, but he doesn't believe that his dog would cross the fence. Well, I've had several cases where the dog did cross the fence. One was a pit bull. It blasted through it like a train going through a balsa wall. It saw something and it took off. That doesn't appear to be the circumstance here, but it's the direct testimony of Mr. Jackson versus your speculation and circumstantial evidence that it was not your dog. So I do find beyond a preponderance that the plaintiff has maintained his cause of action.
Sir, may I say something?
Yes, certainly.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. The only other thing is, like I said, my wife was home when this happened. Mr. Jackson, I guess he could have had the case against her since she was here and was the witness when he came over. But her and my daughter were both out here and said that they never seen the dogs leave the yard and that they'd only been out for maybe a few minutes. So like I said, but I can't.
Well, they're not
I
here.
can't have my wife here, so I don't.
Okay. Well, that would be evidence I could receive if there was someone here to testify to it. So right
I mean, my
now-
wife is here, sir, at my house.
Well, all right. Well, can you bring her in under the camera?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Sarah. Okay.
All right. Good afternoon. Would you state your name, please?
So you're gonna.
You have to state your name.
Sarah,
She's hard of hearing, sir.
Sarah Zinsmaster.
Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Do you recall on July 1st when your neighbor, Mr. Jackson, came over because he said his dog had been attacked by your dog?
He asked if you recall when Mr. Jackson came over and said that our dog attacked his dog.
Yeah, I recall that. Yes.
What do you remember about that morning?
What?
What do you remember about the morning?
So I was outside with our kids in our front yard, and he came over saying that our dog had attacked his dog, and I apologized. I said, and I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't think they were out. We had kept them locked in the, or not locked up, but they're in their garage all day. Because I had friends' kids over, and our daughter had let them out to go potty for like 5 minutes, but that's why I told him, I was like, I didn't think they were really been out long enough. And he was just really upset. And I told him I was sorry his dog got hurt. That was pretty much the extent of that conversation that day.
Did you hear the dogs fighting or anything?
Did you hear the dogs fighting?
No.
All right. That doesn't do anything to change my opinion. It confirms that your dog was out at the time Mr. Jackson's dog got bit. So I fined for the plaintiff in the amount of $421.87 plus court costs of $43.65 for a total of $465.52. There are a lot of dogs out and about at night, and you showed pictures of some of them, but this was in the middle of the morning, and the testimony is he saw it happen. The other evidence is your dog was out at that time. Let out of the garage, and it went into the neighbor's yard. So I'm going to send you this. You have 21 days to pay $465.52 for the balance of Mr. Jackson's veterinary bills. And there's nothing awarded as the counterclaim. All right, this matter is completed. Thank you.
Thank you.